Play action. Now it's Allen. Oh, this is intercepted, intended. Oh, they try a lateral on the return, and now the ball's loose. And I think they are going to get this one back. Boy, that would have been something, double turnovers. But instead, they'll keep the possession on the INT. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been in a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling. Maybe we ask them to help us with the laterals as well and make that a better play.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now Prescott. This is intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, 5, and he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. Well, really a fantastic play, not only to pick that off, but he had to run a long way, Charles, in the direction to hit pay dirt. He did it, and they've got the first lead.
And that certainly changes the early tone of this game, doesn't it, partner? One moment, they were going to be in early control. Now they just have a few moments to clear their heads and get back out there against an electrified defense.
They're going to keep it on the ground, and he will get in to make it 8-0. And they turn the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized with a little bit on top.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. But Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
And he is in to make it 16-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Prescott off play action. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Deion Sanders, the Hall of Famer, with a pick. And the Pats are going to take possession of the football. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Allen. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Randy Moss, 35 yards. And the Patriots are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And that pushes the lead up to 23. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
And he fends him off. He's going to go up top again. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
He's going to let it go again. And incomplete on the deep ball. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Patriots take over. They're going to have terrific field position. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. And the tight end goes in motion left.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Hey, tight down.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Allen. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Mike Edwards picks it off. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
This to C.J. Ham, the fullback. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Running for the first time with a fullback, C.J. Ham. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Dak's throw complete there to Johnson. And he's going to have a first down, and they get into field goal range here at the 29. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Prescott on first down. Completes it to the fullback, Ham. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Calvin Johnson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. 9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left.
You got tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. A final shot before half for Allen. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is taken in at the 5. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the third quarter?
And now this will be the final play of the half, as with no time remaining, they'll try and add 2 more to the lead right before intermission. In motion left, the tight end. They're going to try and run. And he will get into the end zone. So a perfect finish to the half. They get the touchdown on the final play, and 2 more for good measure. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it.
Left sideline, a dive, and it looks like he's got it. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action now, Prescott. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They just get the play off. Now Prescott. Dancing to his left. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Dante Hall, 79 yards. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there Now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Taken from about the 12. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
In motion comes the tight end left. Throwing on second and long. Allen. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described, a defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for two. And he's going to get in. So they're back within 11. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick six, and then the two-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
55 rushing yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. In motion, Hill. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On 1st down, right back to Hall. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On play action, Allen. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, so much for getting separation. No chance there. Locked down tight, forcing the incompletion on that attempt.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. He is going to find Hill here. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line. It'll be a Patriot 1st down on a pickup of 16.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. In motion, Hill. Hall on a give up the middle. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Allen off the play fake. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Randy Moss, 33 yards. And the Pats have put this one to bed here in the fourth quarter. So that drive there, CD, a good response, and that might be the one that gets them to the finish line, a comfortable lead. Yeah, and that's all about not letting the team back into a game because they just gave up a touchdown. It was back to a 2-score game, and anything can happen in that situation. But instead, they came through with a really terrific drive right there that ended in 6. So you like to slam the door on teams. In this case, they're trying to lock it as well. They'll try and run it here. And make them 4 for 4 now on 2-point conversions as he'll take this one in for the score. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days. You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down. That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one. Play fake. Here's Prescott. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Michael Strahan able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Patriots are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, you think about it, though, that interception, great for his stats, but bad for field position. It was 4th down. Yeah, terrific observation. If there is going to be a silver lining, and this is what he'll plead when it comes time to watch it again, hey, it was just like a punt, right? So we end up taking possession of the ball. But you're exactly right about it. Should have slapped it down. Field position would be better for his offense. But how many times do you get a chance to make an interception that you turn it down? That's when your instinct kicks in and you take the football. In this case, a better decision would have been to knock the ball down. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. In motion, Hill. On second down, a run with Hall. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 66 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go. Their time to shine. On play action, Allen. That's going to be caught by Moss.